Hi children, we stopped the second audio where Wally gets irritated at the questioning by the old woman. Now we will continue. Her first journey, what careful, painstaking, elaborate plans she had to make for it. Naturally, anything that you do, for anything you need a proper planning. And if you do it with a proper planning, it will materialize also. So here, this was her first journey. So she had to make careful, painstaking means a thorough, elaborate plans she had to make for it. She had thriftily saved whatever stray coins came her way, resisting every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons, and the like. And finally, she had saved a total of 60 paise. So she had gathered information that you need 60 paise to go up and down. So she collected money. Thriftily means, how did she gather that? She spent money carefully at that age, remember. And like that, she saved some stray coins. Stray coins here means every single coin that she got could get, or occasional some coins that she got, she saved it like that. She didn't use it to buy. She had temptations to buy peppermint or a toy or balloon when she saw that, but she resisted all that temptation, suppressed her wish to buy all that, and like that she saved that much money, and she finally saved a total of 60 paise. How difficult it had been, particularly that day at the village fair, but she had resolutely stifled a strong desire to ride the merry-go-round, even though she had the money. So she remembers she had somehow collected 60 paise, and after that the village fair came, and she had the money with her, and she could have gone and ride the merry-go-round, but somehow she suppressed it, controlled, resolutely stifled means controlled with determination. Stifled actually means suffocate. Understand? So here, controlled with determination, her desire to ride the merry-go-round. Why? She needed that money for this, right? So it's always like that. What we prioritize. That time her priority was ride on the bus, not merry-go-round. So she controlled it. After she had enough money saved, her next problem was how to slip out of the house without her mother's knowledge. But she managed this without too much difficulty. Every day after lunch, her mother would nap from about 1 to 4 or so. Nap means it's a short sleep during the daytime. Valli always used these hours for her excursions. Look at that, it is put in single inverted commas. Her excursions, as she stood looking from the doorway of her house, or sometimes even ventured out, look at the meaning, went cautiously or courageously into the village. So some small journey she used to have on her own, but not on the bus. This was the first time. Today, these same hours could be used for her first excursion outside the village. So far, she has done it within the village. The bus rolled on, now cutting. So now she is in the bus. We know that it was halfway through, right? The bus rolled on now, cutting across a bare landscape. Bare landscape means dry, with few plants and no trees. Earlier it was full green, right? That was a part. Now they reach such a place where it is bare. Now rushing through a tiny hamlet or past an odd wayside shop. Hamlet is a small settlement. It is smaller than a village, actually. Sometimes the bus seemed on the point of gobbling up another vehicle that is coming towards them, or a pedestrian crossing the road. So this has been described from the point of view of a child. Look at the line. Sometimes it seemed in the point of gobbling up another. Gobbling also means eating. So this vehicle was going to eat another vehicle that is coming on its way, or a pedestrian crossing the road. But lo, somehow it passed on smoothly, leaving all obstacles safely behind. Trees came running towards them, but then stopped as the bus reached them and simply stood there helpless for a moment by the side of the road before rushing away in the other direction. So these all nothing to be explained. The child doesn't know why it is like that. The child felt that trees were coming running to them. Suddenly, Wally clapped her hands with glee. Glee means delight. A young cow, tail high in the air, was running very fast right in the middle of the road, right in front of the bus. The bus slowed to a crawl, and the driver sounded his horn loudly again and again. But the more he honked, the more frightened the animal became, and the faster it galloped, always right in front of the bus. Somehow this was very funny to Valli. She laughed and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. Hey lady, haven't you laughed enough? Called the conductor. Better save some for tomorrow. At last the cow moved off the road, and soon the bus came to a railroad crossing. A speck of a train, speck means a tiny spot. You can just see the train as a tiny spot. The speck of a train could be seen in the distance, growing bigger and bigger as it drew near. Then it rushed past the crossing gate with a tremendous roar and rattle, shaking the bus. The impact of that train. Understand? Then the bus went and passed the train station. From there, it traversed means travel across a busy, well laid out shopping street and turning entered a wider thoroughfare. Thoroughfare meaning is given there a busy public road. Such big, bright looking shops. What glittering displays of clothes and other merchandise. Such big crowd. Merchandise again means things for sale. So you may get a question, what all did Valli see? Her experience for the first bus journey, what all she experienced, what all she came across. So all this should come. The nature part, what she saw, then the ditch, everything, the cow, the shops, everything should come in your answer. Struck dumb with wonder, Valli gaped at everything. Gape must actually mean staring with mouth open with anxiety or curiosity. Then the bus stopped and everyone got off except Valli. Hey lady, said the conductor, aren't you ready to get off? This is as far as your 30 paise takes you. No, Valli said, I'm going back on the same bus. She took another 30 paise from her pocket and handed the coins to the conductor. Why? Is something the matter? No, nothing is the matter. I just felt like having a bus ride, that's all. Don't you want to have a look at the sights now that you are here? All by myself? Oh, I would be much too afraid. Greatly amused by the girl's way of speaking, the conductor said, But you weren't afraid to come in the bus? Nothing to be afraid of about that, she answered. So when he asked you, don't you want to go out and see what is here? She says that no, alone, I am afraid of that. So the conductor was amused that you didn't feel scared to travel on the bus alone. She said nothing to be afraid. Well then, why not go to that stall over there and have something to drink? Nothing to be afraid about that either. Oh no, I couldn't do that. Well then, let me bring you a cold drink. No, I don't have enough money. Just give me my ticket, that's all. It will be my treat and not cost you anything. No, she said firmly. Please, no. The conductor shrugged and they waited until it was time for the bus to begin the return journey. Again, there weren't many passengers. So this shows what sort of a girl she was. Yes, she was adventurous by nature. She made use of the time that her mother had her nap. Without her mother's knowledge, she did everything. Earlier also we come to know that within the village she used to have small trips in inverted commas. Okay, so, but she knew her limits. When the conductor, okay, she talked with conductor, she was very free with the person. Still, when he offered or suggested to go out and see what she was afraid of, she was not ready to do. And when he offered that I will buy you something, that also, she said a firm no. This is something which we all should learn in life. We should know where to say a no, and that our no should be very firm also. Okay, we'll continue. Won't your mother be looking for you? The conductor asked when he gave the girl her ticket. No one will be looking for me, she said. The bus started, and again there were the same wonderful sights. Wally wasn't bored in the slightest and greeted everything with the same excitement she had felt the first time. But suddenly she saw a young cow lying dead by the roadside, just where it had been struck by some fast moving vehicle. Isn't that the same cow that ran in front of the bus on our trip to town? She asked the conductor. The conductor nodded, and she was overcome with sadness. What had been a lovable, beautiful creature just a little while ago had now suddenly lost its charm and its life and looked so horrible, so frightening as it lay there, legs spread eagled, a fixed stare in its lifeless eyes, bled all over. The bus moved on. The memory of the dead cow haunted her, dampening her enthusiasm. She no longer wanted to look out of the window. So, look at the impact of that. It was her first bus journey, and maybe this was the first time she came to, what should I say, see what death is. She saw the same creature full of life a few minutes ago. Now she saw it lying there dead. And the difference, when it was alive, full of life, very beautiful, isn't it the adjectives that was used? And now horrible and frightening. She sat thus, glued to her seat, until the bus reached her village at 3:40. She stood up and stretched herself. So look at the difference. Before she saw that, she stood in her seat to see what was happening outside, right? After seeing the dead cow, she didn't feel like looking out at all. Then she turned to the conductor and said, "Well, sir, I hope to see you again." "Okay, madam," he answered her, smiling. "Whenever you feel like a bus ride, come and join us, and don't forget to bring your fare." Why did he say that? Because he knew she will not accept things for free. She didn't want to get anything as a what should I say, favor. Yes. She laughed and jumped down from the bus. Then away she went, running straight for home. When she entered her house, she found her mother awake and talking to one of Wally's aunts, the one from South Street. This aunt was a real chatterbox, never closing her mouth once she started talking. "And where have you been?" said her aunt when Wally came in. She spoke very casually, not expecting a reply. So Wally just smiled, and her mother and aunt went on with their conversation. "Yes, you are right," her mother said. They were continuing their conversation. "So many things in our midst and in the world outside. How can we possibly know about everything? And even when we do know about something, we often can't understand it completely, can we?" "Oh, yes," breathed Wally. "What?" asked her mother. "What is it you say?" "Oh," said Wally, "I was just agreeing with what you said about things happening without our knowledge." What would have the child have in mind? The death of the cow, right? That thought. So she realizes, yes, it is like that in life. "Just a chit of a girl," she said, her aunt. "And yet look how she pokes her nose into our conversation, just as though she were a grown lady." Wally smiled to herself. She didn't want them to understand her smile. But then there wasn't much chance of that, was there? That is, will they ever come to know that? Yes. That is how the story ends. Thank you.